please give a warm, rocking, Bay Area welcome to the most popular politician in America today, Senator Bernie Sanders.
We love you, Bernie.
Mark Rocha, Board of Trustee member Raphael Mendelman, AFT 2121 Political Director Alisa Messer. Let me thank Win Mon Key, Teddy T, and John Nauer for their wonderful remarks. And last but not least, let me thank San Francisco Supervisor Jane Kim. Jane has already given half of my speech, so I'll make it short. We are, as all of you know, and as Jane and others have indicated, we are in a very pivotal moment in American history. And if there's anything positive that we can say about Donald Trump, and there is not much, is that he has really made it very clear about what the stakes are when we talk about the future of this country. Trump and his friends, at a time of massive income and wealth inequality, the very, very rich are becoming unbelievably rich while the middle class shrinks and 43 million live in poverty. Trump and his Republican friends want to give massive trillions of dollars in tax breaks to the top 1%. And at the same time, make massive cuts in education, environmental protection, and the needs of our children and our parents. Trump today and Republican leadership, as we speak right now, and all of you know we're engaged in a massive battle in the Senate, Trump and his friends want to throw 32 million Americans off of the health insurance they currently have. They want to defund Planned Parenthood. They want to cut Medicaid by $700 billion, want to raise premiums for older workers. That's their vision. Well, we have a different vision, and that is health care for all, or Medicare for all. Trump and his friends want to protect the fossil fuel industry. We have a different vision. We understand that climate change is not a hoax, but is a frighteningly dangerous reality. And our vision is to transform our energy systems away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energies. Donald Trump and his friends want to protect a corrupt campaign finance system which allows billionaires to buy elections. Well, we have a slightly different vision. We believe in one person, one vote, overturning Citizens United. Moving toward public funding of elections. Trump and his friends and the Attorney General want to expand upon a broken criminal justice system which has more people in jail in America than any other country on earth, we have a different vision, and that is investing in jobs and education, not jails and incarceration. Trump and his friends, and we hope we can turn them around on this one, want to throw 800,000 young Americans off of the legal protection they have under the DACA program. That's their vision. Our vision is to move to comprehensive immigration reform and a passport system.
Ready for president.
So the stakes are high because we are seeing a president and a billionaire class which wants to move this country more and more into an oligarchic form of society, a nation in which the billionaire class will control not only our economy, but our political life. And our job and our belief is you're not going to do that. We are going to reinvigorate and revitalize American democracy. We're going to bring millions more into the political process, and we are going to create an economy and a government that works for all of us, not just the 1%. Now I am moved and delighted to be here at the City College of San Francisco today. And I am inspired to be here because I come from a family where my dad dropped out of high school in Poland, dropped out of school at the age of 16. My mother never went to college. And what I believe from the bottom of my heart is that in a highly competitive global economy, where the jobs out there, the good jobs, require more and more education, that it is our job as a nation to understand that public education no longer can simply mean first grade to 12th grade. And our job now, when we talk about free public education, is to make certain that we are talking about making public colleges and universities tuition-free in every area. And I want to thank all of you and the San Francisco County Board of Supervisors, not only for what you're doing for the people here in San Francisco. You are becoming a model for the United States of America. Because if you think that young people and working people and parents all over this country are not asking their local officials, hey, how come in San Francisco they can make college tuition free? Why don't you do it in our community? That is what you're doing. It is an international embarrassment and so counterproductive that when we need the best educated workforce in the world, if we are going to compete effectively in the global economy, that today, in the midst of all that, we have hundreds of thousands of bright and capable young people who want a higher education but are unable to get that education for one reason: their family lacks the money. And what we are saying today, and the example that this college is setting, is that everyone who has the desire and the ability should be able to get a higher education regardless of the income of that family. Let me tell you something that you may not know, is that there was once a time, not so many years ago, 20, 30 years ago, when the United States led the world in the percentage of our people who had higher education and college degrees. We were number 1. Today, we are number 11, behind countries like South Korea, Japan, Canada, Ireland, the United Kingdom, and Australia. Now you tell me how we are going to be able to compete in a competitive global economy when new jobs require more and more skill. How are we going to compete when we are number 11? So our job is to open the doors. Our job is to tell the kids in the 3rd and 4th grade today, kids who unconsciously, they have already given up on the future of their lives. They know they don't have the money to get a college degree. They don't know anybody who has a higher education. And our job is to tell them and their parents that if they take school seriously, if they do their work in a serious way, regardless of their income, yeah, they're going to make it into the middle class. They are going to get a higher education. By the way, when we talk about post-high school education, it's not just 4 years of college or even 2 years of community college. We need plumbers, we need electricians, we need welders, we need people to do meaningful work and good pay, and they need the skills to do those jobs as well. So not only is it basically nuts and counterproductive that we are telling hundreds of thousands of young people that they can't get an education because of their income, there is something else out there that is equally crazy. And that is, we are punishing millions of Americans for the crime of going to college and leaving school deeply in debt. So number 1, we're going to make public colleges and universities tuition free. Number 2, we're going to significantly reduce student debt in this country. Let me tell you what student debt means. I was in Nevada last year. Never forget this. Guy who seemed to me in his mid-50s or so. Guy says, you know, I took out student debt when I was in college. I am now paying more. I have more student debt today than I had when I was in college because I couldn't pay my debt and interest rates rose the principal. I remember talking, and then he said, 55 years of age, I am afraid that they're going to garnish my Social Security payments in order to pay back my student debt. Can you imagine that? And then I remember talking to a young woman in Burlington, Vermont, my city, and, all right, thank you, Vermonters. We may be a little smaller than California, but hey. And she said, she went to medical school, and she's doing exactly the right thing. She's practicing primary health care in a community health center. And she graduated medical school $300,000 in debt. I thought that, I couldn't believe that. But that turns out not to be all that unusual. And then, I was in Iowa and I talked to a young woman. She graduated dental school, $400,000 in debt. Okay? So what does all of that mean? It means that when you leave school deeply in debt, you got to gravitate yourself to those jobs that are going to pay you a lot of money to pay off that debt, rather than doing the work you would like to do. Now, if you leave school deeply in debt, you're not going to become a child care worker at a time when we desperately need good child care workers. You're not going to become a public law person. You're not going to work for legal aid or become a public defender when you're paying off $200,000 in debt from law school. So when we create a situation where people can leave school without student debt, free to go out and do what they want to do, you're going to create a nation of a lot more happy people and a lot more productive people doing the work they want to do. So what are we going to do? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We are going to understand that we have got to fundamentally change national priorities in this country. Instead of giving tax breaks to Wall Street speculators, we're going to demand that they start paying their fair share of taxes. And we are going to use that funding, a very significant amount of funding, to make public colleges and universities tuition-free. Now, what this is about, what you have done here at City College of San Francisco, is shown that when people get involved politically and when you elect people like Jane Kim and others, it makes a difference.
Yes.
It makes a difference. Politics is not some abstract idea. It is concrete. And our job is to put together an agenda that speaks to the needs of working people and to elect officials who have the guts to fight and implement that agenda. And I will tell you, all over this country, you're seeing states and cities cutting back on programs. In Oklahoma right now, many children there are going to school 4 days a week. 4 days a week in the year 2017, because the state doesn't have enough money to provide education for little children 5 days a week. That's going on in one form or another all over this country. Cuts in this, cuts in that basic service. And what a joy it is to see here that on this campus you have increased participation, you have increased enrollment for San Francisco residents by 51%. Instead of denying people what they are entitled to, you are giving people exactly what they need. So the example of what you have accomplished here in San Francisco should lead us to understand what we can accomplish when we stand together and we don't allow demagogues to divide us up by the color of our skin or our sexual orientation or the country we came from or our religion. Our job is to bring people together, to demand health care as a right for all. To demand that this country lead the world in combating climate change. To demand that we end sexism and racism and homophobia and xenophobia. And what the political struggle of the moment is about is that there is nothing that I have said, or that Jane Kim has said, or that others have said, that is not supported by the vast majority of the American people. It was just a poll that came out the other day. Well over 60% of the American people believe that public colleges and universities should be tuition-free. All over America, that's what people believe. These are not radical ideas. We have the ideas as progressives that the American people support. Problem is, Trump and his friends have the money and have the support of the billionaire class. So our political task, building on the great success that you have accomplished here at San Francisco Community College, Our job now is to expand that, to bring our people together, and to create the cities and the state and the nation that we know that we can become. It is not rhetoric, but reality, because you are living that reality right here, right now. That when we stand together, there is nothing that we cannot accomplish. So let me just thank you all again. What you are doing is not only important for San Francisco, it is important for the nation. I have introduced legislation which will make public colleges and tuition free for working people. And with your support, we're going to make that happen for every state in this country. Thank you.